Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. I'm going to be doing an updated 20 favorite products or 20 best products from 20 different brands, hopefully in under 20 minutes. This video was originally created by Jen Luv's Reviews and I did it in 2019. I recently did a Throwback Thursday style video where I revisited all of the products that I mentioned in my 2019 best product from 20 different brands video, and there were so many products I didn't have in my collection. So many brands have come out in the last two and a half years, etc. I thought it would be really fun to do this video again. I'm not using all of the same brands that I used in that original video, but if you're interested in checking out my 2019 version, I'll leave that link down below, as well as my recent throwback where I kind of revisit and talk to you about whether or not these products are still favorites. But today I have 20 new products from 20 different brands. Some of them are repeated brands, but some of them are new brands. Stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I would love if you consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, you guys, there are two products from two different brands that I don't currently have in my collection, but both brands are favorite brands of mine and I really wanted to include them in this video. And both products are products I do intend to purchase, likely during the next Sephora Vieve sale. So I wanted to include them today, even though I don't necessarily have the products with me. But the first brand is Kosas, and my favorite product from Kosas was really hard to decide because truly I like just about every product from the Kosas line. I really don't feel like you can go wrong. But my favorite product from Kosas is the Revealer Concealer. That is something that I was working on panning all last year. It took me forever to finish that up. My packaging did break, which was super frustrating, and I did mention in many of my project pan updates last year that I wasn't certain I was going to purchase the Revealer Concealer again, and now that I don't have it in my collection, I miss it so much. It's my favorite concealer. That and the Oma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer are my favorite concealers. So there's so much from the Kosas line that I love, but if I had to choose my favorite product, or I could only have one product, only own one product from Kosas, it would definitely have to be the Revealer Concealer. The second brand is Milk Makeup. I love Milk Makeup as a brand. I don't love every product that I've tried from Milk, but I always get super excited about their releases. And my favorite product from Milk, I just had to declutter because mine was way too old and I think it had expired on me, and it is the Milk Makeup Bronzing Stick. This is an amazing cream bronzer. They have a very crappy shade range. They need to expand their shade range, but if you can make either of the two shades work for you, I know that sounds so ridiculous. They do not have enough shades. However, I really loved the shade Baked on my skin. I think it looks really beautiful. It blends really easily. It's very beginner friendly. If you're planning to purchase this, I recommend purchasing the mini because I had the full size, and I don't even know if I was halfway through that product. I had had it for 2.5, 3 years. I had used that product so much. It was in a project where I had used it over 50 times, and I had used it so many other times throughout its lifetime, probably close to 100 times, and I wasn't even halfway through the product. It expired on me and I had to throw it out. But I do plan to purchase that again. I absolutely love that product. So then all the other products I do currently have in my collection. So I'm just going to start with Persona. Persona Cosmetics doesn't have, I don't think they have, no, they don't have a full line or a full range of products, but pretty much everything that I've tried from Persona I like. So I really had to like nail down, if I could only keep one product from each of these brands, which product would I keep, even though I'd be sad about it for many of these brands because there are so many products that I do like from each of them. But for Persona, I had to go with the Identity One palette. I absolutely adore this eyeshadow palette. I love the color story. I think for day-to-day, it's amazing. The shimmers in this palette, the shimmer formula is incredible. It's so smooth. Even if you have like more mature eyes, or for me, I always feel like my eyelids look super crepey. I find that the shimmer shades in this palette are just so smooth that they just make my eyes look a little bit more youthful, and I absolutely adore this eyeshadow palette. So I had to go with this one for Persona. For ColourPop, I really struggled with ColourPop as well because one, they have so many products, and I do really like a lot of ColourPop products, so it was a difficult choice, but ultimately I did decide to go with an eyeshadow palette, and I went with the Limoncello palette. I absolutely fell in love with this palette last year, and I remember when this first launched, I was excited about it, but I didn't buy it on launch day, and eventually I did obviously decide to purchase it, and it's one that I just continued to reach for all of last year. It was one that I felt like I could get a pretty good variety of neutral looks out of this eyeshadow palette, but then you also have these fun pops or just like these fun twists on neutral shades, and I just adore this palette from ColourPop. If you guys are a longtime subscriber, you guys know I love Huda Beauty, and this was another difficult one because I love so many of Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palettes, but I also really like a lot of other products from her line. Most recently, I fell in love with her Bomb Brows like fibrous brow gel. And I actually wrote down a different, so it's an eyeshadow palette that I ultimately landed on. And I actually had started with the Rose Quartz was the one I was gonna share with you. And then I opened up all of my Huda palettes because then I was like, oh, is it actually the Wild Tiger or is it the Smoky Obsessions? But I ultimately landed on the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. You guys know I love this palette. And I just love the fun pops of color. I love the textures in this palette. It's just a palette unlike any other palette in my collection. And I just truly adore this palette. So I had to select this one. The last eyeshadow palette that I have to share for my best product from a brand is from Patrick Ta, and I've really enjoyed trying so many products from Patrick Ta as well. So many products that I've really enjoyed and loved, but I had to go with the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette for the best product in the Patrick Ta line. I have so enjoyed my time with this palette. It hasn't been in my collection too long, but the cream shadows even in this palette just actually get me so excited to reach for this. I've wanted to reach for this even though I've used it enough to formulate my review. I just ranked this in my ranking all the new to me palettes, and still I just want to continue to reach for this, so I had to go with this one for Patrick Ta. Next up for Makeup by Mario's line, I decided this one was tough too because I feel like I've liked so much in the Makeup by Mario line. I get super excited about his launches and releases too. They're not ones that I usually go out and purchase like immediately every time that they launch, but over time I feel like slowly I've accumulated so much of his products as well. But ultimately I landed on the soft powder blush in the shade Desert Rose. I just love how creamy and smooth this formula is, and I absolutely love this shade as well. It's just such a beautiful rosy pink sort of mid-tone shade. It's neutral enough that I just feel like it matches just about any look, and it just looks so beautiful on the cheeks. So I had to go with this one by Makeup by Mario, but I really feel like any product from his line, you really can't go wrong. Let's move on to a couple affordable brands. So for e.l.f., I feel like I've tried a lot from e.l.f., and a lot of the e.l.f. products, in my opinion, are really hit or miss for me, but one that I have fallen just head over heels in love with over the course of the last month and a half or so is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I've used this every single time I've done my makeup since I started testing this out. I am truly like obsessed with this product. It's basically like a brow freeze sort of product. Is it the ABH Brow Freeze? This is supposed to be a dupe for. I have not tried the ABH Brow Freeze, but it's like a brow gel and it is incredible. It does an amazing job at holding your brows in place without your brows getting crunchy. I feel like I have heavier brows too. Like the NYX brow glue, I feel like just like my brows sort of sag with that, but this lasts all day, holds my brows in place all day, but it's not as crunchy as like the ABH brow glue, which I love, but felt like that was pretty crunchy brow glue. This is incredible. All right, next up I have Milani, and I feel like I've tried a pretty decent amount of Milani products. For the most part, I really like a lot of Milani products, and I would say Milani is one of my more favorite drugstore brands. Ultimately, I decided that I had to go with the Milani Chill Out Soothing Primer. This is amazing. It does a really nice job of actually just feeling like cool and calming on the skin. You guys know I love primers, so it's kind of all about the primer experience for me as well. And this actually feels a little bit cooling on the skin. And if I have just like dry or irritated skin, I really love to reach for this. It also has a bit of a pore filling or a smoothing aspect to it, and I just think you cannot go wrong. I want to say this is $9.99 or $11.99. I feel like it's really reasonably priced for such a great primer as well. It competes, in my opinion, with a lot of my more high-end primers. I would rather reach for this over a lot of my high-end primers, so I had to go with this one from Milani. The last drugstore brand I included is Flower Beauty. I've recently been getting back into Flower Beauty, and I just feel like they have a lot of just interesting products in their line. I don't know, there's something about Flower Beauty that just really draws me in and intrigues me. My favorite product that I've tried from Flower thus far is the blush bombs. So I have a new shade right here. This is in the shade Nectar. I recently picked this up, but prior to this, I actually have finished up a full, I I think it was also in Nectar, now that I think about it. Okay, it was not Nectar that I owned in the past. It was called a shade called Pinched, which I had previously used up to completion, finished it off, emptied it out in the past, and really enjoyed. I love the formula. I feel like it can be a little bit scary for beginners, but I usually just put a little bit on the back of my hand, put it on my finger, and then tap it out, or use a beauty blender. And I really love the way that this has like a dewy sort of finish to the cheeks, and I think it's so beautiful. A couple newer brands to me as of, well, these didn't even exist, I don't think, in 2019. Up first, I have Vieve Cosmetics. I've tried quite a few of the products in the Vieve line, certainly not everything, and I've really enjoyed just about every product I've tried from Vieve Cosmetics. But if I'm talking about the best, in my opinion, I had to go with the bronzer duo. First of all, I feel like the packaging is a 10 out of 10. I just absolutely love the black and gold. Really nice and sturdy for travel. And then you get two, obviously, bronzer shades. I have the shade medium 1 and medium 2. Really creamy, smooth texture, and I just love the way that this performs on the skin. Those two are swatched right there. Just really buttery, smooth, soft, very easy to blend. I just think looks like such a beautiful bronze. It just has obviously a very beautiful bronze finish, and I'm a huge fan of the Vieve bronzing duos. Another new brand is Rare Beauty, and this was a tough one because I've really been enjoying the Rare Beauty foundation, but I think this is such a unique formula and a unique product. It is the blush, what do they call these? I forget, like blush, what's the special name for them? Why am I blanking on this? The liquid blushes, and I'm specifically talking about the dewy formula. I have mine in the shade Joy, and I just love the finish of the dewy formula. I cannot wait to pull this out for the summertime. It's a very pigmented formula. I don't feel like it's the most beginner friendly just because it is so pigmented, but if you can master how to get just enough product, which like 1 dot even is like too much, but if you can master getting the right amount of product, it's so beautiful on the skin. I love this from Rare Beauty. I really want to pick up the newest dewy blush shade. I forget the name of it, but I really am interested in picking that up, probably again during the next Sephora VIB sale. For Tower 28, I also really enjoyed just about every product I've tried from Tower 28. Again, they don't have a huge range of products, but you guys can probably guess it. I'm going with the lip jelly. Specifically, I really like their Milky line the best. This is in the shade Chestnut. This came out in a holiday set, but it's such a nice, smooth, not sticky at all gloss formula. If you're looking for a really beautiful, just plain clear brow gel, or not brow gel, clear lip gloss, their lip gloss in the shade Chill is like the perfect, just clear, non-sticky lip gloss. I find these super comfortable on the lips. It's one of my favorite gloss formulas and my favorite product from Tower 28. Next up, I have a product from Tarte, and Tarte is not a brand I purchase from all that frequently anymore, but I do feel like when I do purchase from Tarte, I'm generally pretty satisfied with my purchase. So I was thinking about the Tarte Sea Breezy bronzer, which I recently finished up. I did really enjoy that cream bronzer, but I recently rolled this product into my Partners in Cream project pan, and I love this for if you need a primer that's going to make your skin a little bit more matte and going to smooth your skin out. I think you will absolutely love this. It is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is not a new product by any means, but I have really fallen in love with this primer over the course of the last month or so, just because it does do such an amazing job. Truly, probably the best pore filling primer I have ever used. Now, it does mattify my skin, so if you do not like a primer to mattify your skin, you probably aren't going to like this. Now, that doesn't mean I can't make my skin look dewy at the end by adding like glowy finishing sprays and things like that, but this will mattify your skin some, but it does such an amazing job at filling the pores. This is such a great product from Tarte. Obviously, I'd include Fenty Beauty. It's one of my favorite brands, and I really struggled with this one as well because there's so many products throughout the Fenty Beauty line that are so good that I love so much. But if I had to think about one product that I would keep, if I could only keep one, honestly, it's a tie between this product and the Fenty Gloss Bomb. You guys know I love Fenty Gloss Bomb so freaking much. I really don't think you can go wrong, but I also love the Fenty Cheeks Out Cheeker blushes. So this is the shade Strawberry Drip, and one thing that I really love about the Fenty cheek products is I feel like they have such unique colors, just blush shades that you don't see on the market. This is such a beautiful blush shade for the summertime. It gives just the most beautiful like strawberry sort of melon colored sunburnt sort of cheek. I love this. I think that the formula is so easy to work with. You can really sheer it out, or you can build the pigment up as well, and I just adore these from Fenty. You guys also probably knew I had to include Nabla Cosmetics in this, which was really difficult because I am obsessed with Nabla. I really love every product that Nabla has to offer, but I had to go with the Nabla Skin Glazing, and I specifically have the shade Truth, which is my favorite of all of my skin glazings. I've really enjoyed a glowier cheek. Matte cheeks have just not been my thing, so this blush shade, like, I'm drooling. It's so freaking beautiful. This is what I wore all summer long last year. Already so excited to pull this out in the spring, and such a beautiful Bake Chalet formula. You really like, you guys have to try some kind of Nabla skin glazing, whether it be a blush, highlight, or bronzer. You really can't go wrong. You just gotta try it. From Dior, I had to go with a Dior foundation. Dior is another brand that I kind of like feel like has snuck up on me as having a lot of favorites throughout their line, but I had to go with the Dior Forever Skin Glow. The Dior Forever foundations are truly so good, and I love I've been opting for like a more natural slash dewy sort of finish, so that's why I went with the Dior Skin Glow. But I also really like just the original Dior Forever, which is a little bit more matte. This foundation has such a good lasting time. It's more medium coverage. You could probably build it up to close to full, but I love the finish of this. I love the staying power. Such a good foundation. I will continue to repurchase. For Lawless is another brand that doesn't have a full range of products, but I really like almost every product that I have tried from Lawless. But it wasn't even a question. I knew exactly the product I was going to pick for Lawless, and it is their Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Gloss. Truly, this is the most amazing gloss. It has a little bit of tingle to it, but it's nothing that like stings your lips like the Too Faced lip injections by any means, but it almost has this like magical power to it where it just smooths your lips out. Even if you have like the driest, crustiest lips, I swear it just like smooths your lips out and makes them look fuller because they're just so smooth and gorgeous. I am going to be out of this. This is just the original. I feel like I'm going to be out of this one soon. I also have Daisy and Velvet. I know they've recently released other shades which I'm very interested in picking up. I will continue to remain loyal to the Lawless Forget the Filler because I just absolutely am obsessed with this product. And then the 20th brand that I have is Charlotte Tilbury, and I also really struggled with this because I love the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I also love the powder bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury, but ultimately I had to go with the blush wands. This is in the shade Pinkgasm. I also have Peachgasm. I love both of them. As I said, I have really been enjoying a more dewy or glowy cheek. There's Pinkgasm on the cheek. I don't know if you can see that. It's just like typical Charlotte Tilbury effortless beauty sort of style. You can really sheer this out as well to just be a light glowy wash of color, or you can build it up to be a little bit more pink, peach, or whatever you might choose. I think in general I just love the Charlotte Tilbury wands. I know everyone complains about the applicator, but I actually don't necessarily mind, although I will say I was using the contour wand today and it got a little bit messy, but that's okay. I do really enjoy the Charlotte Tilbury wands, but right now I'm really feeling both Peach and Pinkgasm, as in the cheek wands. Those would be my tippity top favorite product from Charlotte Tilbury right now. But after that is going to wrap it up for my 20 best products from 20 different brands. I would love to know, have you tried any of these products? What are your favorite products from some of these brands? What are some of your best products from different brands? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.